Hi guys, and welcome to Holistic Life with Kristen. Today, I apologize, I'm actually starting this video in my bedroom. I have a house full of people, so I'm just going to head to the kitchen right now and show you how to make my favorite harvest cranberry chickpea salad. This is so simple. If you pre-cook the chickpeas in the Instant Pot, then you can throw this together as a no-cook recipe anytime you want after you make the chickpeas. And even if you are in a hurry and you want to use canned chickpeas for this recipe, then this recipe becomes a completely no-cook recipe. It is so good and it is perfect for fall. It's perfect for when you're busy and you're in a hurry. So without further ado, let's head to the kitchen and I will show you how to make this. I'm just going to do a quick rundown of the ingredients. Here I have some diced up celery, and then I have just a little bit of diced onion in the fridge, so I'm just going to use that, and some chickpeas. These are already cooked, or you can either cook them fresh like I did, or you can use the canned ones. And then I have some dried cranberries, along with some light mayonnaise, which is only 1 Weight Watcher point per tablespoon. And then I'm also going to use a little bit of the Sweet Baby Ray's honey mustard. And I've got this potato slayer veggie blend, but you can use whatever seasonings you have on hand. I'm also going to be using some salt and pepper and garlic and paprika. So I'm going to start by adding my chickpeas to the bowl, along with my diced up celery and my diced up onion. You can also use red onion. Normally I would use some red onion in this, but I just had the white onion ready to go in the fridge, so I'm just going to use that for today. And then I'm going to go ahead and give it a good mix. I think I added quite a bit of onion and celery for the amount of chickpeas in here, so I'm just going to slowly add in some more chickpeas until I get it to be about the consistency that I want. Next, I'm going to add in some of my dried cranberries, and I like quite a few, but you can, of course, I'm not really measuring anything, but just add it to your taste, and then you can mix it up and adjust as desired. Then we're going to add in our spices. I'm going to start with a little bit of fresh cracked black pepper. And again, all of the spices are going to be to taste. I'm just sort of adding some in, and then I'll taste it at the end and adjust any seasonings as needed. I'm not going to add any extra salt, but you can always add a little extra salt. This is some garlic powder. Again, everything to taste. The paprika will just help to give it a little bit of flavor and also to give the sauce just a little bit of color. Last but not least, we're going to add in our seasoning blend. This is my potato slayer seasoning blend, but of course you can always add in any other seasonings that you have in your spice cabinet. For this reason, I'm not adding any extra salt because my seasoning has a bit of salt in it, and I think that's going to be enough. If it's not, I'll add it at the very end. But yeah, just put all the seasonings, whatever you have in your house that you think would go good in here. You can just add it in, and then we're going to add in mayonnaise. I would just add a little bit at the beginning because once we get it all mixed up, we'll be able to see if we need to add in any more. And that way you don't get too much of it in there at once. I'm also going to go ahead and add just a little bit, like, I don't know, there might be like a tablespoon or two of the honey mustard. And then I'm just going to give it a good mix. And then actually it's much easier to do this in a stand mixer, guys. So sorry, I apologize. I'm going to go ahead and switch it over to my stand mixer bowl. And then I'm just going to go ahead and add on my beater attachment just because this does a really good job of mixing it up, and I'm just going to take the easy way out. If you don't have a stand mixer, it's not a big deal. You can just continue to mix by hand, but for the sake of having you not watch me mix this by hand for several minutes, I'm just going to go ahead and stick it in my stand mixer. It needed a little bit more mayonnaise. It was a little dry, so you can just adjust the mayonnaise as you're mixing and add it in to get the texture that you're looking for. And then I'm just going to go ahead and give it one final mix. I think I've got the mayonnaise exactly where I want it. And if you're mixing this by hand, you're going to have to use quite a bit of arm power to just kind of slightly mash the chickpeas. Not mash it too much, but just mash it just ever so slightly as you're mixing. Since I'm using my mixer, this is going to be so simple. The mixer is just going to slightly mash and mix it for me. And finally, when you think you've got it exactly where you want it, you can just do a real quick taste test and just check for, the mayonnaise and honey mustard and all of the seasonings and salt, and just make sure that everything tastes the way you want it. And I thought mine just needed a little bit of salt there at the end, so I am going to add just a little bit of salt, and then I'm just going to give it one final mix to just make sure, that I don't have all the salt in one spot. So I'm just going to give it one final mix, and then I'm sure that this will be good to go. This recipe is so darn easy. You guys are going to just love this. This is one of my all-time favorites. It's so quick to put together. Once you have those chickpeas cooked up, you can just whip this up in just a couple of minutes. And this goes really, really well on top of a salad. Sometimes I'll just put some salad greens and top it with this. Otherwise, I'll do like an open-faced sandwich just like this. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoy this. I hope you give it a try. If you're in a hurry, you can always use canned chickpeas. But if you would like to learn how to make these easy Instant Pot chickpeas, just check out the video right here.